Hello, anybody, and thanks for tuning in to Monday Morning Handicapping. This is a Weekend Warrior where I'm going to do a quick rundown of a race card. This race card I'm going to run down is for Sunday, August 4th, 2024 at the Santa Rosa Fairgrounds, and these are my selections. I've added my selections list to the left, so as we go through, you'll be able to see them and keep track of them, and yeah, I thought I'd fill in that space with something, but I'm going to try to keep this shorter and sweeter, so let's just dive right into race number one. So race number one is a maiden claiming $8,000 race going a distance of 1 mile, and my top pick is going to be number 4, Red Raj, 4-1 on the morning line. And my angle here is just that this is a very weak field of maidens for a cheap price. So all these horses have never won a race in their life. This horse is lightly raced, had 2 races where he ran 0 and 2 Beyer speed figures, which is, you're never going to win with those figures. So just ran completely terribly. He went on a break, and during that break he was gelded or castrated, and that's kind of a last resort training method. So he goes on a break, gets gelded, comes back, runs by far a much better Beyer, 35 speed figure. That is pretty comparable to any runners in this race, and many of them have raced 8-10 times and have not won. In his last race off the break, it was a sprint race, so the pace expected to be much faster, and while he wasn't near the front, he ran evenly. With that said, let's skip on over to race 2. Race number 2 is a maiden claiming 12,500, 5 furlongs on the turf, and my top pick is going to be 9-5 morning line, number 4, No Doro. This horse ran a 52 on debut, ran very well. The only problem I had was I noticed he had a lead change issue down the stretch. It was on his debut, and he still ran a 52, which is the best Beyer in the field out of any of the starts any of the other runners have had. He just looked real good doing it. Going wide at Pleasanton is kind of where you want to be, so I don't mind the 4 and 5 wide there, but he had a little bit of a squeeze at the start. Since his last race, he's had a nice work. Second race ever. He deserves to be 9-5. I have a feeling he's going to be much shorter. It looks like he's going to have a nice setup, but if he has some more lead change issues, that could be an issue, but otherwise I don't see who's going to beat him in this race. He should be close to the front and should be able to kick on. Number 4, No Doro, 9-5. Let's move on to race 3. Race number 3 is a maiden claiming event for California state bred horses going a distance of 5.5 furlongs, and my top pick is going to be number 4, Dungvarian Oak. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, but 3-1 on the morning line. He had a nice last out Beyer, first time on the dirt. He got out a little bit slow, and he's been dropping in class. His debut was at a little higher, 25,000, went into maiden special weight. His most recent race on the dirt, he was third by 2.5 length, but he was chasing a short price favorite and really looked good throughout. Never really was threatening the favorite. I think the jockey switch can get this horse out near the front early, and I think this horse is just a little bit classier than the favorite. So I think the drop, the jockey change, and a solid trainer, they have not given up on this horse. I think he's going to get a perfect trip and should just run by in the stretch. So that being said, let's move on to race number 4. Race number 4 is claiming 62.50, non-winners of 2 lifetime for fillies, going 5.5 furlongs, and my top pick is going to be number 4, Harbor Dearest, 9-5 on the morning line, and I'm pretty reluctant about this. Last race at this track, this horse ran her career best, actually took the lead in the stretch and gave it up late, lost by a nose. I think the jockey kind of fell asleep, wasn't paying attention, and didn't realize someone was coming up behind her. This horse also went to the lead and stayed right on the leader's hip and then surpassed her. Anything can happen in this race, but number 4, 9-5 morning line, looks to be the one to beat. Let's move on to race number 5. Race number 5 is a claiming tag of 20,000 going a mile on the grass, and my top pick is going to be number 2, Love Candy. This was a pretty tough race for me. Took a little while. I landed on number 2, Love Candy, 7-2 on the morning line. This horse definitely prefers running a mile. You can see he's running to the low to mid 80s on the speed figures. And while he doesn't have great turf speed figures, it's been a while since he's actually run on the turf, but he does seem to like the mile, can sit right on the pace. His most recent win for a claiming tag was 32,000 at Golden Gate Sprinting. So this horse does have some speed, but does have some of his best Beyers most recently going a distance of 1 mile or more. So I think this horse can handle the distance. It's just a matter if he can get his footing on this grass. I'm going to take a shot just with Love Candy, but for horizontals, I would spread a little bit, but would add number 2, Love Candy at 7-2 on my ticket. So let's look at race number 6. Race number 6 is a claiming $8,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime going a distance of 1 mile, and my top pick is going to be number 4, Sea Dog at 2-1 on the morning line. This is kind of just a typical class drop angle. He's 2-1. He's definitely got the speed figures. Seems to like the dirt. 1 win, 3 seconds out of 4 starts. His most recent race, he was up near the lead. A pretty swift lead at that at Pleasanton. Ran a 62 buyer, was close up and missed, as you can see in the tagline. And it just looks like the class relief is what this horse needs. He's also not facing very much in this race to begin with. Pretty soft competition. Looks like his race to lose. So let's take a look at race number 7. Race number 7 is an optional claimer event going a distance of 1 mile, and my top pick is going to be number 1, Atomic Drop, right there on the screen. This horse was just claimed from Del Mar for $16,000, gets a hefty bump up in class from $16,000, even though it was at Del Mar, up to $40,000 up north. Going to be facing softer competition, obviously, in Northern California, but this horse has plenty of early speed, claimed by a really hot trainer, 44% on the year. He's second choice on the morning line, and the 3, Tesoro, who is the morning line favorite, does his best running on other surfaces and also when he's on the lead when he is not contested. The 1 is certainly going to contest. I think he's faster than Tesoro, and I don't think Tesoro can hang, and there's no other speed, so I think the 1 could get a loose lead and just not stop. So number 1 in the 7th race at Santa Rosa for me. Now on to the grand finale. Race number 8 is an optional claimer, $8,000, starter allowance $4,000, going a distance of 5.5 furlongs, and my top pick is going to be number 8, My Dominator. This horse has just been going very well. This horse can sit right off of the speed and kick on with it. He seems to really like the dirt. Since switching trainers, he's 2 for 2. His last race was most impressive, where he won by 5 lengths. This horse fits the condition very well because he started for a $4,000 tag way down here, bottom race of the page, so that makes it eligible to not be claimed this race, and he has just been on fire lately, running very, very well. Number 4, Imperial Hornet, had been running well. In fact, he had a 7 or so race win streak. The horse just does not seem to like the dirt as much. He's 1 for 7 on the dirt, and he's going to be facing some other speed in here, and I think My Dominator with Castellanos, who's a very, very tactical jockey, is going to be able to look to his inside, sit right off of any speed duel, and just tell the horse when to go, and the horse has been responding in kind, likes the dirt more so than the 4. I would take them both on horizontals, but number 8, my top pick, My Dominator, 3-1 for Adrian Castellanos, Sergio Perez training, and that's going to wrap up Santa Rosa. Good luck to everybody. Hit like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you all next time.